I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
We will be perfect in every aspect of the game. You drop a pass, you run a mile. You miss a blocking assignment, you run a mile. You fumble the football, and I will break my foot off in your John Brown hind parts.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Screw them. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Double A Squad, what is good? It's Ryan here with Kelly, as always, back for another riveting episode of the Armchair Authority. It's still raining. It just seems to never stop here. I don't know what's going on. But we're here, as we always are. And Kelly looks primed and ready to just open his mouth and speak.
Kelly's not so primed and ready. I feel a little bit like the guy with the storm cloud floating around over my head as I move everywhere in life.
Look like Eeyore today.
God. You know, my wife recently mentioned me, Ryan. I go through these funks, right? And some days, man, I'm on cloud nine, and other days, like, just stay away from me because I'm no fun to be around. I'm not a very good person. I know I'm not a very good person sometimes. Anyway, my wife says, "What brings you joy?" When I actually have to stop and think about that, and I'm like, you know what, give me a week, I'll get back to you. When you really gotta reevaluate your life and kind of what's going on and what brings you joy and finding simple pleasures and all that, it really makes a guy think. You know, It really makes you think.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of a storm cloud guy today. I'm not coming in with a lot of fire.
Yeah.
Last time we came in, you had a little bit of a funk. This time, I've got a huge funk. I'm gonna get through it. It's gonna be fine. No comments about my hair? Nothing?
I mean,
nothing? I've heard a ton.
You got to have more than a quarter of an inch there for me to talk about it. So
yeah,
I mean, it's coming in on the sides, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that 70s show? You dumbass.
Yeah, you trying to go for a red look there?
You like it?
Yeah.
I'm just showing people I still got it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Still got what?
I know it looks ridiculous, and I'm here for it.
Got what?
Yeah, I got it. It. I got it. And this, proof in the pudding.
Yeah. A follicle problem?
I've had that for years, but yeah.
Is it true that when it stops growing on top, it just starts growing elsewhere?
I don't. This actually stopped growing on top. I was actually
like, did you notice that when it stopped growing on top, you're like, wow, the chest hair has really gotten a lot thicker?
No, I've been a Sasquatch for a long time.
Sasquatch.
I was actually.
I've been a Sasquatch for a while now.
My hairline.
Oh boy.
My hairline started.
Come on over here.
Jesus. My hairline started receding. Oh God, I'm done. I'm done. Carry on.
It is a little red, so I mean, you got a little Irish in you. Is Veniclaus is that over there in the?
No, and fun fact, just a little history lesson for you. It used to be Ven Clausen.
Ven Clausen.
Capital V-E-N, capital K.
I suppose
Ven
you could turn
Clausen.
that into a little bit of Irish.
And then they Americanized
I'm Kelly
us.
Ven Clausen.
You should never sound like a homo leprechaun, dude. Did I just say that out loud?
Yeah, I think you did.
Jesus.
Yeah.
No, we used to be Ven Clausen.
Yeah.
And then they Americanized us, and dropped the K, add an E. I don't know. I'd like to go back to Ven Clausen.
I've never understood that.
In fact, most days I'd just like to hide in a corner and not be seen by anybody for months at a time.
Yeah, that's fair. I can feel that from time to time. But it is weird how the this probably isn't even a word, but the Englishization of some of these words that came over on the boat, like my last name, arbitrarily, the English decided to put a C in it, and now it's just ruined my life forever, because you spell Schultz the traditional German way with no C. It's just Schultz. But every single time, and this is one of the things that happened, last week when I was telling you about some of the stuff that was going on with the insurance things, they were consistently spelling my last name wrong. They kept putting a C in it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, did you do this, this, and this? And they're like, we see now. Yeah, you see. Get rid of it.
Skulls.
Yeah. But then there's opposite things, like, the English putting the U in the word color.
Yeah.
So.
People put a U in my name all the time.
Do they really?
Yeah, because I think they, Santa Claus.
Oh, I was thinking
Clause. They want to try to put a U in my name. I could have enlisted in the Army as 3 different people.
You could have.
Verklaser, Venickelson, Veniclausen.
Verklaser. You should change your... That would be a great, color commentary guy.
I'm disrespecting somebody, but somebody still calls me Verklaser.
Yeah.
It's been a joke for decades. Verklaser.
Joe Buck here next to Kelly Verklaser.
And the guy with that shot was Venickelson.
I don't know, Jim.
Where have we been keeping this guy?
Good stuff. No, you mentioned having a bad day, but there's always somebody out there that's having a...
It's not a bad day.
Oh, there's always somebody out there having a worse time.
There is. Way to put a spin on it.
And I would say that there was somebody on the plane with me that had a worse time than what you're going through, at least in that moment. So I hate air travel, just to get that out in the open. It's ridiculous.
That was episode 12.
All of it, every airline, all of it can just eat the biggest satchel of Richards that there is, and they can move forward. But they
use the word dictate in a sentence.
But they can. They just have you by the balls, and you can't do anything about it. Like, you get to Denver, and then you get ready to get on the plane, and they're like, well, let's get you on the plane for 45 minutes, and then let's take you off the plane for a maintenance issue while we try to figure that out. And then let's delay this thing 3 hours while we try to find another plane. And then you finally get on the plane and you go where you need to go. But, that's just you don't have any say in the matter. There's no choice on what they do or what they don't do, or when you leave or when you can't leave, or anything like that. But so we eventually get on our way. We land in Vegas, and we're waiting to deplane. And I happen to look over. Oh, and by the way, primo coach seat for me. Row 32 of 34, middle seat. Great. Good
Ideal.
stuff. First class stuff, right?
Ideal.
Hour and 45-minute flight. Not that big of a deal, but as a man that's over 6 feet tall, it's never fun to not be able to stretch your legs for an hour and a half.
Can almost taste the shit in your mouth back there, can't you?
So we land, and obviously sitting in row 32, it's going to be a while before you get off the plane. And just kind of sitting there doing the whole thing. And I happen to look over, and right as I look over, the lady in the aisle seat next to me, so not directly next to me, but across the aisle, she's holding her phone up to the stewardess. And it's got a sentence written on it. And I have, with my contacts in, got pretty decent eyesight. I was able to read what was on the phone.
She pooped her pants.
Pretty close. All it said was, I apologize profusely, but I peed myself.
Oh, Lord.
And I just instantly snapped my head back forward and was just thinking about the logistics of that and what was going to happen next, and if the person next to her knew her, how she was going to get off the plane, how they were going to handle this, because she was probably in her late 30s, early 40s maybe. She's not, someone that you would consider just by looking at them to have, any sort of issue like that. And I don't know what happened. And I don't remember the plane landing being very aggressive or anything like that. So, and like I said, we were on the plane for an hour and 45 minutes. She had an aisle seat. She could have gone up and, use the facilities at any point. So there may be other things going on here. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, putting myself in her shoes at that moment, in that time, in that situation. Luckily, she was towards the back of the plane.
Yeah.
So she could just kind of chill out there. And pretty soon, I'm watching the stewardess go up and down, try to figure out what he's going to grab her and all this other stuff. And pretty soon he comes back and hands her 2 things in plastic. I don't know if they were shirts. I don't know what they were, but I deplaned as soon as I could because I didn't want to make that any more awkward than it already was. But,
Here's where my mind goes. They get on your ass all the time about making sure you jam your bag under the seat, right? Get your feet under there, get your bag under the seat, da-da-da.
Yeah.
What if something ran off the seat onto said bag behind him?
Yeah, I'm not sure of that.
That's where my mind went.
Right.
I don't feel so bad for her. I mean, that's a problem. But if you pee on my stuff before I'm even off the plane.
Then it's hers. Then she gets to keep it. That's the rule.
But it's usually my backpack with all of my good stuff in it, right?
Yeah.
The good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it is one of those things where, you're jammed in there like sardines. If anybody has any sort of accident, the chances of you getting something on you are higher than it would be in any other situation usually. So, and I'm not going to sit here and try to estimate the volume of urine that we're talking about here.
See, I would have waited until she got up.
You would have just sat there?
I'd have sat
there was
there
no
until
way.
she got
Like
up.
she would have. She was definitely the last person off. She definitely. Just
I'd have waited. I'd have waited
No,
it
you
out.
wouldn't have.
And then I would just
No, you
announce out loud.
Yeah.
I just want to see how wet that chair really is.
That's weird.
That's what I want to do. I want to see what you did. I want to see how you destroyed that chair.
Yeah.
And the next poor soul that's going to come sit down on that
Yeah.
and think that they themselves piss themselves.
Well, it's like airplanes are similar to. Well, not similar to, but you have to imagine. There's airplane seats have seen a lot. You have to imagine, just like hotel rooms, where you're in there and you're not the first person to ever do anything in a hotel room. That seat that you're sitting in on that plane has probably seen some things. The amount of people that are in and off those planes, the amount of times that plane has taken off and gone somewhere else throughout the day, throughout the week.
Yeah.
You
Hot locations, lots of swamp.
Yeah. Curious to what's going on there.
Yeah.
Yeesh. Yeah. Shout out to the people that clean those things, but because from the time that the plane deplanes and the time you get on, after everybody's gotten off, you really think they've had that much time to sanitize all that stuff?
Yeah, right. You ever get crumbs in your seat where you just turn around when you jump out and you just smack your hand down on the seat of your truck, and you see shit fly all over the place. Can you imagine slapping your hand down on an airplane seat?
Well, luckily they're leather,
dude.
so
The toxins that would be released into the air would be deadly.
I imagine that the cloud would just come up. With a skull with an X of bones behind it.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
It'd be amazing. You need a full hazmat suit to be slapping chairs in there.
I can't remember what flight it was over the week, but I asked. They were like, "Do you want anything to drink?" I was like, "Yeah, I would take a Diet Coke. You need some caffeine or whatever." And she just hands me the can, and it's not even cold. And so I didn't even open it.
That's all you asked for. You didn't ask for a cold one.
Well, I guess I'm sorry to assume. Usually they give you a cup of ice, but apparently there's a shortage on that as well.
Cut back.
Yeah, thanks a lot, United.
Cost cutting back costs.
Yeah, so
every
she
level.
hands me this, and I'm like, so I'm not even going to open it because I'm not going to enjoy it, so I'll just take it with me. Well, I was in such a hurry to get off the plane that I didn't put it in my bag, and so I'm pretty sure I just left it because I put it towards the left side of me because I had the window seat at that point in time. So I'm pretty sure I just got up and it just rolled into the middle of the seat.
You showed them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unused.
Yeah.
If somebody's coming through going, somebody just didn't drink this? All right, cool.
You showed
Add
them.
that back to the inventory.
Yep. Meanwhile, first class had rings of ice around their neck because it got a little hot in the front of the plane.
I've got to fly first class twice in the last couple of years, and it is truly one of those things where there's an episode of Seinfeld where he's like, I can't go back. You don't understand. Once you've flown first class, you don't want to do it. So the juxtaposition to where I was the last time I flew versus this time, sitting in a middle seat in row 32 versus a window seat in first class was night and day difference.
What'd you have to your left and your right?
2 men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not
full grown.
You weren't fighting.
No.
You weren't fighting for position.
No. And I'll be honest, we've all been there where you identify the largest person on the plane, and then you start taking your odds of whether or not that's going to be your.
That's going to be my row.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're sweating it as you're looking up trying to find ABC
and
23, 24,
yeah.
25. Oh man.
They're 8 people ahead of you, and they sit down, and it's right around where you think your seat is.
Yep, and you're like, I'm going to be sitting right there on Big
Right.
Sweaty's lap.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And don't act like you haven't done it, because you've all done it.
Don't.
Yeah, don't take your high horse. We've all seen it. We've all done it.
No.
Yeah. Because, before that, when I flew, and, I had the extra poundage, it was awkward sitting next to somebody that was also large. And so it's just, air travel is uncomfortable already. So it just adds to it.
Yeah.
Let's just call a spade a spade. I'm not shaming anybody. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
I sat next to a guy with Parkinson's on the way back from North Carolina one time.
Ooh,
and luckily my uncle, he's had Parkinson's for a long time, so I'm used to it, but his right arm was just shaking the whole time and basically just smacking my arm.
Like, you thought he was like fighting you for
No, I knew what it was.
Elbow rest?
I knew what it was immediately. So it was like the universe was like, all right, you've been chosen to take on this task. Because he couldn't even open his snacks and stuff like that, so I was like helping him out with that stuff. And he had a middle seat, and I felt bad for him, man, because like obviously you can't control it. If you know anything about Parkinson's, it's just an involuntary. Yeah. Your limbs are moving and doing things that you don't want them to do, and I don't know. It's crazy. As uncomfortable as air travel already is, that stuff has got to be hard for certain people.
That's one where at some point you find yourself in that situation. You've got your son with you, and he's obviously going to be young, and he's going to see that situation where a man's struggling with that disease. Yeah. He's going to look at you and as loud as he can.
What's that, Dad?
What's wrong with him?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that guy?
Well, I mean, I've seen that even at Sam's Club. You'll be strolling through by yourself, and there'll be a family or a dad with a couple of kids, and then another person, and it's like an amputee. And you'll be shopping there too, and all of a sudden you'll hear the kid go, "Dad, where's his arm?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, where's the? Can I get out of here fast enough?" Like,
exactly.
And you know that guy.
Whose kid is that? Whose kid is that?
Yeah.
Where's the parents?
Yeah. And it's so innocent. Like, they're not doing it obviously to be mean or anything, but like now you have to try to handle that as a parent.
Yeah.
So I'm sure my day is coming. I've experienced it vicariously through other people, but yeah, that's and the other thing is, what people choose to wear at the airport is always super curious to me.
That's in general. That's life in general. It's not just the airport.
I know, but like the airport specifically, like there was a guy that just chose to wear a short sleeve button up shirt covered in rubber duckies.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just an interesting fashion choice as you go to the airport.
Yeah, he wants to be noticed.
Yeah, or a woman with huge fake breasts and the smallest tank top I've ever seen in my life.
How do you know they're fake? Did you ask?
Didn't need to. It's pretty obvious, Kelly. I've been around the sun a couple times.
You don't know they're fake.
Not anything on earth.
Those might be the original OGs right there.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. I was worried I was going to hear a loud pop as we hit 30,000 feet.
Face full of silicone. Yeah. Here it comes. Like a whoopee cushion.
Yeah. But I mean, I was like, and she's flying with her husband or her boyfriend or whatever, and I'm like, okay, I mean, listen, you're proud of your body, I get it, but
she's flying with he who paid for said
you're probably devices. Right, maybe.
Yeah.
Or the lady that was on my plane last year that flew in these huge, like knee-high fuzzy boots.
Yeah, I've got some.
I'm sure you do. From your last job.
And I fly in them.
It's just interesting to me. Like, you woke up and you're like, this is what I'm wearing to the airport today. And, for me, it's usually like sweatpants or joggers.
Yeah,
and
quitters.
A T-shirt and a hat.
Yeah.
I'm
always thinking, where am I landing?
Where am I
landing?
landing?
I will embrace the suck.
Yeah.
If I'm getting on a plane and it's minus 30, but I know I'm landing in Phoenix where it's going to be 90 degrees, right. Where am I landing? Yeah. That's my attire. Here I go. Giddy up.
Yeah.
Fuzzy boots might be on a part of that, and that's okay.
I mean, I'm always trying to do as neutral as I can because I don't know if I'm going to get stuck in the airport. I don't know what's going to happen, if I'm going to get stuck at the first airport or the second one or whatever, So, like, if I can just dress as neutral as possible and survive in whatever climate, I feel like that's all right.
Do you bring an extra set of underwear in your personal carry-on?
No.
You don't?
No.
I think after your experience with the little Missy lad next to you should maybe reconsider that.
I do always see the memes.
This guy does.
I do always see the memes about, like, does anybody else pack like they're going to shit their pants 4 times on this trip?
Yeah.
Because you're like, all right, I got underwear for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you're only there until Thursday. And you're like, well, what if I shit my pants every day? And then you put in, like, 6 more pairs of underwear just in case.
Phone charger, iPad.
12 pairs of underwear.
And a pair of boxers. Yes.
Fair enough.
They're in there.
Yeah. No, I've never.
That's my important bag. See, that's why I said earlier it's so important because I have my important stuff in the bag that they make me ram under the chair.
Yeah.
So if it gets pissed on, well, hell, she's ruining my underwear too. She's.
And I remembered the song I was trying to come up with last week that you were no help on, where I was trying to get the what does the fox say guy, and you just reminded me of it right there. Where I was like, I was pissing over here and pissing over there.
That's The Cabin.
Yeah, but same guys.
Oh yeah, same
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The cabin where I go to relax. The cabin, wear the same clothes for a week. And don't you ever have a shit outside. We got our own special cabin for all of that stuff. We should play that.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Those guys went on a run for a minute.
Yeah.
They had the What Does the Fox Say, obviously, and then they had that one, or the What's the Meaning of Stonehenge?
Yeah.
That's a solid one, too. Yeah. That's just a YouTube rabbit hole.
So what's the name of them? I can't remember the band. What's the name?
It starts with a Y. They're like, but it obviously doesn't have like the Y sound to it, so I can't remember what it is. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. If you search What Does the Fox Say, you'll find all those. But yeah.
I hope you like spaghetti. Because in 16 hours, it's going to be hot.
But yeah, anyway, air
there
travel,
we are.
not the most fun, but even less fun when you have accidents. And that was the first flight that I've ever been on, and maybe it was just the whatever the smell was in the air, but I don't ever get nauseous. But for some reason, sitting in the middle seat and all of that, by the time we were landing, I was like kind of not feeling great, but it also could have been the absolutely horrid McDonald's that I had before I got on the plane.
Oh, yeah.
Like, whoa.
Yep.
Like, top tier bad.
Yep.
But on the way back, I did experience Qdoba breakfast burrito for the first time in my entire life.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Wow. We don't have anything like that here at our local Qdobas. But if they did, it'd be a problem.
Well, funny you bring that up. I experienced a convenience store burrito that made me throw up for an hour on Tuesday. That was fun.
Yeah, I think
that
all
was
of
fun.
Yeah. All of that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just went downhill from there. It really did.
What
Hey, speak of accidents, I just got to plug this in real quick for at least one of our listeners. Dennis fell down in a bathtub. That's all. We can keep going.
Sorry, Dennis.
I think he's got a great life insurance policy, and his wife set him up.
Speaking of downhill from there, that's usually not a good sign.
Dennis fell in a bathtub. That's all.
They make these little grippy things you can put in the bottom of the bathtub that kind of help with that.
Oh, right, but
yeah.
He... Okay, we're on this. Here we go. Meredith and Dennis are going to love me so much for this. So anyway, he wasn't actually in the process of bathing or showering. It was... we lost our footing as we were approaching said bathroom. And into the tub we went is how I understood it.
Okay.
And that's... I love that I just brought that up.
Just
I am in so much trouble for
this. Just
this.
described as a leisurely stroll into the bathroom.
It kind of was, but like I said, I think his wife set him up. I think Meredith set him up on this one. And he's a little bit convinced that Meredith set him up.
All right.
Yep. I was going to ask if his life insurance policy was recently updated or...
Dude, what a way to go. Just making a routine trip to the pisser that turned into a broken neck.
And me being such a, considerate friend, I'm like, well, did you tear down the shower curtain and the rod and everything?
Yeah, at least
it wasn't about, hey, did you bump your elbow? Are you okay? It was, hey, did you wreck shit? Did you wreck shit in the process?
You're trying to get the visual on it? Yeah.
Sorry, guys. We're not going to edit this. Sorry. Nobody listens. You're fine.
Dude, I got bodied by that this weekend where somebody brought up, like, I hear you do a podcast. And I was like, yeah, I do. We were talking about some other stuff. And then, Anthony was the one that brought it up. Good friend of the show. I made a comment about his Canadian bacon nipples. And he was like, yeah, you asked for a simple shirt design, and then all of a sudden all 22 of your listeners know what my nipples look like. And I was
22?
Like, oh. Yeah, I was like, dang.
Thanks
wow, that was like just a little slide there. Nice. I don't know whether to be like impressed that we have 22 or if that was a shot that we only have 22, but thank you anyway.
I'll go with 22. Yeah. I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah.
We'll call them the all 22.
Yeah. Might be 23 now, Because Justin, the new
we're going to lose 2 based on what I just revealed on here. So
they'll be back.
They're done.
They'll be back. There's nothing else out there to listen to.
Thank you for buying our shirt. Yeah. We love you.
Yeah, new listener.
Oh, that's what I should have said. Man, I hope you weren't wearing my shirt when you went in the tub.
Yeah,
I hope you didn't tear your shirt or stretch the collar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, new listener, though. My buddy Justin on our Church League softball team.
Hi, Justin.
He was like, dude, love the intro. Big fan of Remember the Titans, all that other stuff. And I'm like,
yes.
I was like, it's funny how often the intro comes up. And then I was like, we listen to that every single time. He goes, you do the whole like minute and 30 of it? I'm like, oh, yeah. Sometimes you just need a little bit of hype to get in there. And so that was all he had to say, though. He didn't say anything else. He just really liked the intro. So if
Well,
that was the only one you listened to, thank you, buddy.
Nobody wants to disrespect your co-host in person. Nobody wants to do that.
You can do that. That's fine.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, it goes both ways.
Do you?
No. I said it, not I. Clown. Are you gonna turn those into space?
Make me a bicycle clown. What?
When your hair grows out enough on.
We're going
two
back to the
sides,
hair.
Are you gonna be able to turn that into space buns or something?
Yeah.
Or,
Pennywise. Just call me Pennywise.
Are you trying to just get?
I'm coming out of storm. The way life is going, I'm coming out of storm drains, man.
What's the end goal here?
There is no end goal. I'm just letting it go. I'm gonna let it go.
Skull it?
Yeah, we'll go with that. We will. I'm just gonna let it go. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Well, you got football starting up. Is this gonna be one of those things where it's I'm not cutting my hair till we win a playoff game?
That's it. And then I'm not going to cut it because I'm superstitious, and we had a remarkable season.
Yeah.
Because of my hair growth.
Yeah. That'll be good.
Don't worry, it won't be much longer than this in 6 months.
I was gonna say the growth rate doesn't seem like it was super high.
The fur on top is awesome. My daughter pet my head last night.
Are you shaving?
I think she was checking me for ticks like an animal.
Are you shaving the bruise?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I took that off this morning.
That's good.
Fun. I'm glad you caught that.
Yeah.
I took that off this morning because it just didn't look right.
Yeah, you just didn't need a little tuft there.
It's
in
like
the front middle.
Yeah, it's like a marijuana plant in the middle of a cornfield.
Dude,
Something doesn't fit.
a couple of weeks ago, before I went to market, the lady that normally cuts my hair, she's been on maternity leave, and she's going to be on maternity leave until September. And so I've just been scrambling trying to find somebody that I trust to cut my hair, and
I'll do it.
And I waited around way too long. And so I had to do the whole Great Clips thing, and I walked out of there and I looked at my hair and I'm like, she gave me the Kirk Cousins. It looked exactly like the same thing that he got.
I was just going to tell you, Kirk Cousins loves Great Clips.
Yeah.
I'll cut your hair.
It wasn't awful, but it was just one of those things where I'm like, okay, so this is the standard then. This is, you asked for this is what you get. I'm like, all right, it's fine.
Give me the Kirk.
It worked out. So
give me the Kirk.
Yeah, give me the KC. Would you please?
I'll cut your
Weird
hair.
experience because I was like, yeah, it was pretty long on the top at that point in time, and I'm like, well, let's take it down to whatever. And so she was cutting around it, and then she never touched the top of it, and I'm like, could you take some off the top? She's like, you want it more off the top? And I almost said, well, you never even touched it. So I was like, yeah, I'd like a little bit more off the top there. You get what you pay for. So it's true. It's factual. It's fine. And I'm not dogging Great Clips. It's just not what I'm used to. There is something to be said about somebody that knows how to cut your hair. So when you have it.
Yep.
And you'll find out soon enough. So that'll be good. It'll be like a blast for the past.
I won't because I'm not cutting it.
I mean, eventually when you do.
I don't think I'm going to.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's just going to be my thing.
Yeah.
I told you already. I'm going to show you how much I got it.
You're going to look even
Still
more
got
like
it.
Woody Harrelson now.
Yep.
That'll be good.
Yep.
That'll be good for you.
Dumbass. I'm going Red Pollard all the way.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is a sports podcast, I think.
Overrated.
Maybe. I don't know. But there's some stuff going on. And one of the things that I want to talk about, seems like every month we have to talk about gambling and mixing that with baseball. Recently, as of a day ago, 2 days ago, there's a story that's been spreading about Emmanuel Clase, and I'm probably going to get just torn apart from that pronunciation, but it is what it is, who is the all-star closer for the Cleveland Guardians, was placed on administrative leave. And this administrative leave stems from sports betting.
Paid administrative leave. I mean, let's pay the guy, right? We've got strong enough allegations.
As they look into it. And this stems from sports betting investigation that's possibly linked to a wider probe across U.S. sports and the leagues. Class A has not been officially suspended, and the MLB is currently working with outside investigators. So the context for this is that since the 2018 Supreme Court decision overturning what they call the PASPA, which is a ban on sports betting at the federal level, with leagues like the MLB that have partnered with sportsbooks such as DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, and integrated betting content into their broadcasts, have created ad revenue streams based on legal gambling, and this is a growing relationship that has blurred ethical lines. So we've already talked about it with Ohtani, which we did either earlier this year or late last year. We've talked about it, I think, we talked about it ad nauseum for the Pete Rose stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it is when you have the league that's making ad revenue off of these sites that's allowing them to gamble on their sport, but they're punishing players for gambling on other sports.
profiting while trying to regulate.
Right. Yeah, do as I say, not as I do.
Blurry lines.
Yeah, so the leagues are seen as both having profiting from it and regulating gambling, a clear conflict of interest when players and staff are implicated. So the MLB's current betting policy is as such. Players are banned from betting on baseball at all times. Betting on non-baseball sports is allowed as long as it's legal and not done at team facilities. So you can't do it while you're on the clock, essentially. Penalties vary. So if you bet on your own team, Kelly?
Lifetime ban.
Betting on baseball in general?
That's a 1-year suspension.
And betting on other sports at work?
That discipline is up to the commissioner.
So those will vary based case-for-case basis. For Class A, the case may fall into a murky middle ground, betting on sports while in a team setting or using insider access inappropriately. So why this matters is MLB is trying to balance out being the moral authority and a business partner of the sports books, but we've seen time and time again that doesn't really ever work. When you want to be the moral authority on it, but you're also making money on it, but then telling everybody not to do any of it while you're at work. But work is making money off of it, so it's odd.
This is a very simple mind with a very simple concept and a question. What did you think was going to happen when they legalized the betting and they opened all this stuff up on sports betting across every venue, across every league? Ryan, what did you think was going to happen? You didn't think that you were going to have to police this? Did they not think that this was going to become an issue? They are, what it appears to me is that they are playing from behind. Like they're trying to develop stuff and they're trying to come up with rules and they're trying to enforce all of these new things. Like they're acting as though, well, we didn't have any idea that this was going to affect our game. We didn't think that things like this were going to happen. You didn't think it was going to happen? How old was Pete Rose? How old was that case that started back with him? And you didn't think this shit was going to be different? You didn't think this was just going to open a really ugly door for any league? And I don't care if it's MLB, NFL, or any of them. You knew this was coming, right? I mean, you read headlines. Everybody that follows sports read headlines, and they see somebody that's busted for gambling or doing what. I mean, it's like PEDs, right? It's like the human growth hormone stuff. You knew it was coming. You knew it was going to happen. But it feels like we're scratching and clawing trying to find appropriate sanctions and governing bodies and all this stuff about how we're going to investigate this and what we're going to do with it. And you freaking knew it was coming. Yeah. I don't know. I'm simple-minded and I get it. But it's like these headlines anymore, it's just yawn, yet another one. Yeah. Let's see what happens on this one. He's placed on paid administrative leave. He's losing nothing in this process. And if found guilty, what do you do then?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just, and here's, The Athletic breaks this down. This comes from the New York Times, and I think it's a little bit hard to understand because we don't have a lot of information on why exactly, like what's going on or what he's done or what he's been betting on.
Right.
So basically it says that Class A will not don a Major League uniform until at least September, as Major League Baseball placed him on a non-disciplinary paid leave through at least August 31st as the league continues a sports betting investigation that began with fellow Cleveland pitcher Luis Ortiz. The development delivers a crushing blow to the Guardians, the team that was hanging on to a wild card race but has played its best baseball of the season in recent weeks. The timeline is as such. On Sunday morning, as Guardians president Chris
Antonetti,
thank you,
welcome,
drove back to Cleveland from Cooperstown, New York, where he attended the Hall of Fame induction ceremony for team broadcaster Tom Hamilton. He received a call from the league official who said that Class A would be placed on leave on Monday. Class A was informed of the decision before he would have to head to the ballpark ahead of time for the team's series opener against the Colorado Rockies, and a league source said that the Guardians were told that there were no other players on team or team employees who were expected to be impacted. However, the Guardians did suspect that this might be coming, and this did not prevent manager Steve Vaught from turning to Class A in high leverage situations. So they had that right there, that short sentence. The Guardians, however, suspected that this might be coming.
Yeah.
And they still chose to put him in, regardless, trying to get the most out of him before he got suspended. So that's interesting to me, too, that the organization knew that there was something going on
Yep.
to the point where he would be suspended and investigated for something, and yet they did nothing about it. Isn't it within the integrity of the game for these franchises, for these owners to police their own game and keep the integrity intact?
I agree with you, but all you see is what's going to happen to the player. What happens to the team?
That should be that right there. That one, if true, the Guardians, however, suspected that this might be coming. If they knew something beforehand, the Guardians should be penalized in some form or fashion as well.
Probably why MLB is using outside investigators, because now we're talking about what happens to the player. What happened? This suspension, this ban, this da-da-da. So what happens to the organization?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I mean,
when you make the comment the Guardians suspected this might be coming, who within the Guardians suspected this might be coming? Well, clearly somebody said something to the media, right? So
so he ends up pitching both ends of the club's doubleheader against the Royals in Kansas City on Saturday. He surrendered a walk-off homer to Jonathan. Ball don't lie. Right there. He suspended a walk-off homer to Jonathan India.
India.
Is it India?
It's India.
Okay. In the first tilt and sealed a victory in the nightcap. He was warming up in the bullpen in the ninth on Sunday afternoon, despite the Guardians trailing by 3, though Vaught contended that it was in case Cleveland scored towards the tail end of that. So why pitch someone who might be involved in a gambling investigation, especially since the league is already examining whether Ortiz was predetermining the outcome of certain pitches? And based on betting partners that a betting integrity firm had flagged, ESPN reported in early July that 2 of Ortiz's pitches from June are in question. In both instances, Ortiz missed the strike zone with a first pitch slider. Oftentimes people will bet on multiple things in baseball, whatever the first pitch is going to be, whether it's going to be a ball or a strike. I have seen those pitches on Instagram. They are not even anywhere close to the plate. So again, bringing in question of his fellow teammate Ortiz, whether or not he was involved in this stuff, is very interesting. If you look at those pitches, I mean, it's not even in the same area code, dude.
Right.
It's crazy.
Correct. And this is where your organization didn't communicate very well internally, because manager comes out and said he managed each game to win and he didn't know. Sure. Well, somebody in your organization did because they expected this to be coming.
Yeah, so I managed
nice
each
job
game accordingly. As one team source noted prior to Saturday, Class A had logged a 1.10 ERA since May 1st, so without knowing it or how he was involved, they trusted his recent track record. Now, he was in a lot of trade talks. Now he's basically untradeable, which is not surprising. Nobody's going to want to take on a scandal like
true.
this.
Somebody will take him.
Well, not this year.
They'll let it figure itself out, and then somebody will still snag him. It's a business.
Yeah. So, it'll be curious to see where all this stuff goes. What kind of... I mean, they must have some dirt on Class A as far as what's going on here. I think the Ortiz thing is egregious if you look at it. What's the right answer here? I mean, obviously you can't have players betting on their own sport, but like... If that is truly what Ortiz was doing, where he was betting on his own sport with his own pitches, I mean, that you should never be able to play again, right?
It's a ban, according to what they have in place currently. It's a ban,
right?
It's a lifetime ban. I mean, if that's your stance, then that's your stance.
I guess what's the harm? Let's take it to the other side of it. What's the harm of allowing players to bet on NFL games while they're in the locker room?
I don't care about that. I don't care. You can bet on WNBA. You can bet on whatever you want as long as you're not playing and it's not your league. I don't give a damn what you do.
Yeah.
I don't care where you do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, you get the college kids, right, at Iowa State that were using burner phones and having girlfriends place bets and doing all this other stuff. You know, that was within college football. So that's obviously, it was never, I don't believe it was ever on their own team, but I think it was within, college football or whatever. But I don't give a damn if it's not in your league, whatever. People are going to do it. I think it's been proven. People are going to do it. So you want to police it and monitor it within your own league, and whatever happens outside of that, it doesn't matter.
Definitely. Yeah.
I mean, let's just, I'm not indicting anybody on this, but let's just I've been guilty of getting on my phone in my workplace, and looking at stuff on Google or looking at whatever, ordering car parts or doing whatever it is. Is that what I should be doing with my time while I'm at work? No, and I'll fall on the sword and do whatever. I mean, this is a much bigger...
Has it affected your productivity? Has it affected the way in which you talk to your clients? Has it affected any of that stuff?
No, it doesn't.
Then I would say it's not a huge deal, but like if you were actively like doing stuff to the detriment of your office while on your phone, that's a whole nother conversation. So I think we're agreeing here. where, if you're in the team facility and you happen to be placing a bet on FanDuel for a, Sunday night football game, and you're one of the bullpen guys, and it's not even on your sport, what's the harm in that?
Exactly.
But if you're placing a bet on baseball that's not your team, I think then that has a little bit of a detriment to it. I don't think you should be able to bet, because it's like insider trading a little bit, in my opinion.
Well, look at the office setting, Ryan. When you were there and we were side by side next to each other in the office, how many times did the NCAA March Madness thing come around?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Right? People walking around with sheets. Hey, pick your team. Da, da, da. There's money involved in it, right? And people are filling out sheets, sitting at their desks, doing whatever.
Right.
And and we had these fun little win 'em lose, or whatever the hell it was, a pick 'em little contest thing where there was money involved. And I mean, all that stuff's happening, but like you said, it's not. I'm not harming the organization.
But it's not like we're sitting there taking bets on the next person to get arrested.
I'm not doing that. Granted, there were a few in the office. I could have made that bet,
Right.
and I would have won. I would have won.
Yeah. But again, that's insider trading, and you got a little bit more,
And as the person's getting walked out by the brass, you're like, shit, I should have posted that. I knew I should have done that.
Yeah. So I think they do need to loosen up a little bit, but also tighten down on, if it has anything to do with your sport, absolutely not. And especially if your organization knows about it, like, they should be the first one to raise the flag and go, hey, integrity of the game over here. We've got a player. You need to look into him, because we don't want to get in trouble. Because now I guarantee you, if it comes out that the Guardians knew about this, they're going to lose some form of draft compensation, prospect compensation, money, all this other stuff. It's just going to be more detrimental to them than it would be if they just raised their hand and said, hey.
Learn from major college football. Coaches have to report recruiting violations. They have to report program violations. And they are usually the first to step up and say, even if it's a minor violation. Whoops, I sent the kid a letter that I shouldn't have sent, or I had a phone conversation with the dad that I shouldn't have had. Coaches are the ones stepping up saying, I got to report this violation. Mm-hmm. When they're doing that, the NCAA and or their conference heads are usually looking at that going, okay, they reported. This is good. Yeah. This is like I had a warrant, I turned myself in, right? I mean, it's like, learn from that. Yeah. And they're recruiting majors and they're recruiting minor violations, doing all that at the collegiate level. They've got it figured out in terms of policing their own. Yeah, to some degree. This is just...
Well, again, I mean, I get so sick and tired of having to talk about baseball and this stupid... I mean, even in this article from The Athletic...
It's every week.
I mean...
It's every week, Ryan, and it's annoying.
This is what I get tired of. That sentence right there when it comes to baseball. Every single time an issue like this pops up, whether it's steroids, whether it's betting on baseball, or whatever it might be, integrity of the game always gets brought up.
Yep, every single time.
The MLB doesn't give a shit about the integrity of the game, because if they did, there would be other actions that they could take in order to police this stuff, and they choose not to every single time.
Correct. It's like telling your kid, stop speeding or I'm going to take your keys.
Right.
10 times later, he continues to speed and you don't take his damn keys.
Yeah.
Stop with the integrity of the game.
Yeah.
Same damn thing. It comes up every time. And it's every week. Every week there's a headline with something betting, something sports gambling, something like that. And it's old news. It's stupid.
Yeah.
If you're going to take a hard stance, then take a freaking hard stance on it. And if you figure it out and use whoever you want to investigate whatever the allegations are, whatever situation is, and take your damn hard stance. Start pounding some of these organizations with fines that seriously hamper them. If you want to send a message and quit talking about it and you really care about the integrity of the game, then hammer people. Right. I mean, where it absolutely handicaps them.
Well, yeah, you make this you screwed up once, and that's...
Hammer them.
You don't get a second chance.
No.
If you really care about the integrity of your game, instead of just continuing to slap people on the wrist and, and move forward.
Hey, guess what, Cleveland? You're not eligible for postseason play for the next 5 years. Good luck with free agency.
Right.
Have a good time with that. Have a good time with we're going to draft
the other side of that is you can do that, but then, then they look back at the MLB and it's like, but you're still going to continue to profit off of this. You're going to say, no, you can't. I think they need to, if they want to penalize somebody like that, and I'm not saying that they ever would, but I mean, if it was that serious of a thing, they would have to back out of the betting revenue thing altogether, because there's no way you can institute a penalty that removes somebody's playoff eligibility while also gaining millions and billions of dollars from betting revenue.
Well, you saw what happened to Penn State, right? They had that little Jerry Sandusky crap go on and whatever it is, and I mean, they got pummeled, right? And none of those kids that were in that program, coaching staff, all of them, none of those kids in that program at the time had anything to do with that Sandusky crap. And they got just slaughtered, right? Yeah. You can't play for a conference championship. We're cutting your total scholarships from 42 to 10, whatever the hell it was. I mean, handicap, big time.
Yeah, that's tough.
And those people had nothing to do with any of the Sandusky stuff.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, they're just kids. that
I
wanna
guess
play
we're going
ball.
to send a message.
Yeah, you imagine if that happened now, where you got the transfer portal and all that stuff.
I mean, it
Penn State
legitimately.
would- they would have been even more gutted than they were at that time.
Oh, big time. Because it almost, it legitimately killed off SMU.
Yeah.
And was it worth the sanction? Absolutely, it was worth the sanction, what SMU had going on. But it killed them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you didn't hear of SMU football whatsoever, for decades.
Yeah.
Like, it was, they kept considering it the death penalty. And that's what everybody said with Penn State. Hit him with the death penalty. Hit him with the death penalty. But I get the sanction and I get the severity of the incident that took place, or incidents that took place. All of those people, I think, have been held accountable. But all the kids in the program and everything that was going on at that time, man, that's heavy-handed to a group of people that had no knowledge of anything that was happening. Sure, there might still been some people in the coaching staff or some people walking around the Lash building or whatever at Penn State that were like, yeah, I get that. I'm not going to make it a Penn State thing, sir. My bad.
It's all good. All good. So yeah, we'll keep a little bit of an eye on that, see where this whole betting thing goes.
Hair itches.
It's a tough problem. Tough problem to have. But yeah, just yet another one added to a long laundry list of people who have violated this, and we'll see. I'll be interested to see what the allegations are against Class A, as they've never really actually said what it is. And again, just to reiterate, I think there is at least a conversation to be had about Ortiz and what happened there, just based on the things that I've seen. But I'll be interested to see exactly what they have on Emmanuel. So,
well, look how long the Houston thing just roamed around with the buzzers, and we know the pitches, and we know this, and we're wearing buzzers.
If that is 100%
look how
true,
long that took.
So let's just keep beating this dead horse then. Integrity of the game, right?
Right.
Integrity of the game. You have viable evidence that they cheated worse than anyone's ever cheated before, right? Like, where you are telling them what the pitch is, and like giving signals and potential buzzers underneath shirts and all this other stuff. Like, to me, that's more of an integrity issue than steroids, where you are actually, like, you're tipping pitches and you know what's coming.
Yep.
Right? And I know that's a part of the game, but it has to be, like, natural. It has to be a natural part of the game. Maybe you got a guy on second, he's able to tip pitches, do all those other things. Find a different way to do it. But banging on trash cans, using potential buzzers, other different signals like that. Like,
yeah.
But they have decent amount of evidence to say that that's what they actually did, and they were able to retain their title.
Correct.
And then you want to preach about integrity of the game?
Yep. That's why I brought it up.
That's crazy.
Yep. Guy around second comes for home, steps on the plate, tells his players, don't pick me up. You'll expose my buzzer.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah. Anyway.
What are we doing here?
We'll move on from that. Talk a little bit of NFL. There's been a huge push lately and a lot of talk about the NFL and their international strategy, Kelly. You've probably heard about this. We've seen it over the course of the last couple of years. I've never been a huge fan of this. Case in point, number one, when the Packers had to play in Brazil for their first game of the year last year. Not a fan. They are playing on a field that is not made for those kind of players, and what that sport needs to keep the integrity of the game intact.
Yep.
If you want to bring that around.
Yep.
To the point where players are getting injured, they're playing on
soccer
soccer fields.
It's going to be our theme today.
All sorts of things, right?
Integrity.
Yeah. So they want to obviously expand this. This is the NFL's next big takeover, and how they're going to make more money, how they're going to advance it into not from a 16-game season to a 17-game season to what we already know is coming in the next couple of years to an 18-game season, which I think is ridiculous. As much as I love football, I don't think we need 18 games.
It's going to be fine. They're just going to pull one preseason game. They're going to be down to two preseason games.
That's all fine and well, but it's just going to allow for more people to complain about, the record books, and it's going to cause more injury and all this other stuff. And I thought 16 was perfect. 16 for preseason, all that other stuff, it was fine. But that's a whole other conversation. But right now they are moving towards the next step in their global takeover, and that is getting more and more games overseas. The timeline of this starts in 2005 with London as a test bed, and then eventually having the Cardinals and the Niners play in Mexico City for the league's first regular season game outside of the U.S. In 2007, the first regular season game in London happened between the Giants and the Dolphins, and then kind of took a little bit of a hiatus, and then from 11 to 16, London series became a fixture. So this is something that we've seen pretty much since then, right? Like COVID kind of gave us a little bit of a hiccup there, but the London thing has been something we've seen where there's one or two games that typically get played over there. There's an expansion that happens 16 to 19 where they're playing at the Tottenham Spurs Stadium with a field that's actually built to NFL specifications, which is nice. 2019, the NFL Academy launches the London to develop UK talent. So this is what they want to do. They want to turn this into the soccer thing where you're able to, create talent all around the world that you can pull from rather than just the United States. COVID happens, put a pause on it. League invests in digital international streaming rights, and league expands social media and influencer campaigns targeted at the Gen Z audiences, and then comes back in 21 through 23 where they're recommitting to it. And in 21, the launch of the NFL International Home Marketing Areas, basically giving team rights to specific countries. So for the example, that would be the Jaguars in UK. It'd be like the Cowboys in Mexico or the Chiefs in Germany. 22 brings regular season games to Munich with record-breaking attendance. 23, we have 5 total games that are played outside of the United States, with 3 in London and 2 in Germany. And then we expand that even more to Spain and Brazil over the course of the last couple of years. Ultimately, Kelly, the thing that I have heard and what just came out the other day with Arthur Blank, the owner of the Falcons, saying, I think eventually every team will play internationally once a year, and this would likely require a 19-week schedule with 1 bye and 1 international slot. And the idea here is that every NFL team would have their own international hub.
Yep.
Your thoughts?
I disagree. I disagree with that. I disagree with the concept. I don't like it. If I would do anything with it, I would incentivize the rest of the NFL, and I would say, hey, those that finish at the last of their division, you guys are the ones that are going to play the international games. Don't send some of our best across the seas to play a game that's meant to be here. And it's not me pounding my fist on the table. I think it's when you take away, when you think about season tickets, right? If I'm a Chiefs fan, which I am, and if I were to buy season tickets and do all that stuff, you take an international game. And if you do what they're suggesting they do, where one game is played internationally, you're taking a home game away from your fans in your local area, in your stadium. You're taking that home game away and you're putting it in Germany or London or wherever else it's going. Leave it here. Leave it home. I would incentivize everybody else, and I would say, hey, Jaguars, guess what? You guys suck. You're a dumpster fire. You've historically finished last in your division. You're going to be one of the teams that we send internationally. We're not going to send you our best teams. We're not going to send you, very competitive games that we want to keep locally here so that our local fans who are paying for the season tickets and doing all that can actually attend and watch. We're going to send you the Titans and the Jaguars. We're going to send you the Giants and whatever the case is. Like, I don't agree with what they're doing here. I mean, keep it in-house. Don't expand. Don't expand yourself out of to the point where your reputation starts to fail and your interest starts to fail, as we've seen in so many other leagues and sports. Right? You can actually play your way out of people being interested in your sport or wanting to pay anything to you anymore and contribute anymore to NFL fandom.
Yeah. And I just don't see how this works from, again, like I was having a conversation with somebody about baseball and how we can fix it and all this other stuff. And one of the things that I brought up is, why is the first game of the season for Major League Baseball, which is an American sport, why is that in Japan? Why are we supporting this other stuff instead of keeping it here at home? Where, if you do this, it even talks about one of the key barriers being the time zone incompatibility with the U.S. How does that even work?
Oh, man, the games that were played in, I think it was London.
There was one that was on at like
7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jaguars and some other dumpster fire started at 7 o'clock in the morning. And it's like, really?
Yeah, but they talk about the time zone incompatibility with U.S. TV and a relatively low American football infrastructure in these other areas. So the NFL is going to have to invest a ton of money into trying to make this what it wants to overseas. But, are you going to like cut off your nose to spite your face where you're going after this other demographic of people that don't understand the sport as much as you do? Are you getting too greedy here?
Yes.
Is this something where you're trying, like you're just doing too much?
Simple answer, yes.
So the strategic benefits for this for the NFL, the goal of the outcome is to, number one, grow the fan base, more global viewers, more merchandise sales, and a broader brand equity. Number two is revenue ticket sales, local sponsorships, international media rights. 3 is that they would grow the talent pool globally, scouting for elite athletes, like you would find in Australia, Nigeria, and Germany. And then lastly would be youth engagement in international flag football and social media penetration, thus like we're seeing with the 2028 Olympics, where flag football is going to be introduced in that as well. So this seems like a massive cash grab, especially when you talk about a 19-week schedule with only one bye week and an international play. So now you're making them travel even longer. You're playing more games. I don't know. As a player, I wouldn't like this.
Put the Super Bowl. Take the Super Bowl, right? Televised by Fox, NBC, whoever's going to televise it. Play it in Phoenix. Do you think globally, do you think other people are watching from other countries? Are they watching our Super Bowl? Absolutely they are. 100%. I don't agree with this strategy at all. And the only challenges that they say the NFL has to overcome from this cockamamie scheme that they're putting out here, player fatigue and logistics.
Yeah.
Really?
I've never liked it from that aspect anyway, because I don't know how you support that from a player standpoint. Like
they don't.
They played that game in Brazil last year with the Packers where they told them, don't go outside your hotel, don't wear anything green, because you'll likely get affiliated with a gang that you're not affiliated with, and you could potentially be hurt. So what do? They send two teams from the NFL whose primary colors are what, Kelly?
Green.
Get your head out of your ass. Like, how is that even, like, Josh Jacobs was talking about it and how it was like, this is not like a safe place for us to be. They don't, all of this and that and the other thing. And so not only are you talking about the specifications for the field not being safe for the players, but also the surrounding areas.
Right. Two things. And that's what prompted my question. I was going to ask this.
We just had a guy walk in New York that tried to shoot up the NFL headquarters that's from here.
Right. Over CTE grievances.
Right.
Exactly. So have they ever polled the players? Somebody can fact check me and whatever. Have they ever polled the players? How do you feel about traveling overseas to play?
Yeah.
Secondly, the small sample size, but the Chiefs went down to play somebody in Mexico X number of years ago, and the field was in such horrendous condition, and the buildings and grounds crew, and I think it was called, and I'm going to mispronounce this, but it was something like Azteca Field or something like that in Mexico, and the field was in such bad condition that the buildings and grounds crew and the field crew and whatever had no idea how to repair it, replace it, do whatever with it. And a bunch of the players from both the Chiefs and whoever, they might have played the Rams, actually. It might have been when they played the Rams down there. And I think Goff might have still been a member of the Rams at that point. Anyway,
yeah,
the field was in such bad shape, and they didn't know how to recover it. They didn't know how to do it. And the players were like, I'm not playing on this shit. Like, I'm not giving up my year or my career to play on a field that nobody knows how to repair and nobody knows how to make it playable. And they had people walking around on the field, Ryan, 2 hours before kickoff scheduled. They had people walking around on the field saying, this is unfit. This is not okay. It's not like they just had a random sprinkler head sticking out of the ground or something weird like that. I mean, they were playing on clay. They were playing, it was in terrible condition. Now, Azteca Stadium, Mexico, that we're bringing an NFL team to you. The weekend, the venue, what's coming. You don't prepare. You don't have something in place and set up, and you don't have this field in immaculate condition and whatever the case is. They got way bigger issues to worry about with the NFL than just sending teams internationally to play games over there. I know it's great to play in these stadiums where they hold these soccer games and there's 80,000 people and it's crazy and it's chaotic and blah, blah, blah. And the fans are almost right on the field because of the way the fields are set up. Great venue, whatever. That's wonderful. They don't know how to prepare for this crap. And they don't. And I want to know how the players feel about it, because I know how several have mentioned going overseas, like you mentioned, Josh Jacobs. I know how the Chiefs felt about playing on inept field down in Mexico. The people in Germany were scared for their life going over there, because even NFL fans from the United States that went over there to watch the games, they were threatened, they were mugged, they were beaten, they had tremendous problems.
So God forbid, here we go. And before we get too far in the weeds with this, God forbid something like this happens. You have an international game, Chiefs go over and play in Germany, or they play somewhere else, right? Field conditions are not what they need to be in order to keep players healthy. Patrick Mahomes, again, not wishing this upon anybody, has a Alex Smith, Joe Theismann type injury where it ends his career.
Yep.
How does that look as a league standpoint, where you just lost the face of your league because you forced your own agenda to go play on surfaces that were not adequate for your players? Because
the NFL is smart enough and they are rich enough that they are going to have a fall guy or fall team that is going to walk out there and say, we personally reviewed the grounds. The grounds were The grounds were good enough to play on. They were fine. They were in good condition. They were whatever. They will have a fall guy. They will have somebody who's going to have to fall on the sword on this deal and eat a big shitburger over the deal and they will get paid well for doing it. That's how they'll cover up with this. And this isn't tinfoil hat and conspiracy theory and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Not a great idea on their part, in my opinion. But what do we know? We're not the ones that are making an astronomical amount of money on a child's game. So
no, but I'll be the one, who wants to take my son to a football game at Arrowhead Stadium because I have a weekend open from whatever else we got going on. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. We can't do this. They're in freaking Brazil today.
Right, they're not even in the same country. So,
wonderful.
Yeah,
I'm in the weeds. I'm getting out.
It's all good.
I'm crawling my way out.
But yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I mean, it is progressing towards having, the 18-game season, all that other stuff. So. We don't have a say in it. They're not going to ask our opinion. They're just going to do what they want. But I think if there's a steady decline in what happens with the NFL, I think we can pinpoint it and go, probably that. That's probably where it happened. Got a little bit too greedy. But they're a juggernaut for a reason, and I think they'd probably be able to survive it. But again, I get worried about the rule changes that they make and some of the things that they do, but I'll probably still tune in and watch it because I'm just a glutton.
Yep.
As far as that's concerned. But I think we'll probably try to end it there. A little bit shorter episode for you. We tend to ramble on for a long period of time, so maybe this will come as a pleasant surprise for a lot of people that we didn't go for an hour and a half to almost 2 hours. So
all 22 of them.
We'll take what we can get, and we do appreciate you guys listening. If you think we deserve it, you can go ahead and leave a 5-star review on any of your podcast services of choice. If you want to be a part of the show, you can always email us at thearmchairauthority@gmail.com, or you can comment on any podcast service that you choose to use. And if you feel as though we deserve it, please tell a friend, because that's really the only way we can get new listeners. Because then they can, ask you randomly at your church league softball tournament on whether or not you have a podcast, and then you have to awkwardly go, "Yes, I do," and then they say, "Yes, I've listened to it," and all this other stuff. So, yeah. But those are the many ways that you can reach us. Kelly, there's football on tonight, but by the time this comes out, it'll be like a week later.
That seems to be the trend.
Yeah, it's all good.
Seems to be the trend. Sorry to everybody.
No, I kind of...
Life gets in the way.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about, so kind of decided to delay a couple episodes, and that's why, this is going to sound like we're talking about stuff that's a little bit older, but it's fine, because it'll all still be relevant. There's not a ton of stuff that we covered today that's not going to be, super out of date by then, but it'll be nice to be able to get back to a weekly episode where we're talking about current games that just happened and different things going on, because after July 31st, there will be football on every week until February, so... I was actually looking at the long laundry list of games that's going on for the first week of college football. Holy cow. We're close.
It's going to be fun.
We're 3 weeks away.
We are 1 week away as well. I got to put this out there. I got to put the plug in. 1 week away. Ranger football.
There you go.
Returning to fall camp.
Yep. Schedules and the like will all be...
It's going to be fun. So out of whack, and I'm going to be a train wreck coming in here. But we're going to make it happen.
It's going to be great. So, as always, we appreciate you guys for listening. Yeah, hit us up on the socials if you choose to. Twitter and Instagram are listed in the link below, and also, if you feel like supporting us by buying a T-shirt, our TeePublic link is in the description as well. But until next time, hope you guys have a safe and great week. Get to watch some football, and we will chat with you guys next week.
They know the game, but they're keeping it fun, poking fun at the stats, they're second to none. From fantasy leagues to the locker room jokes, they got the edge no one's ever broke. They don't need a suit, they don't need a tie, just some headphones and a crazy eye. The authority of laughs and the game